Have you ever wondered how the internet decides in literally the blink of an eye which ad to show you? Well, that whole process is getting a massive, much-needed upgrade. Today, we're going to break down something called the Agentic RTB Framework. It's a brand new system that's designed to make digital ads faster, a whole lot safer, and way more innovative. You know, every single time you load a web page, there's this lightning-fast, invisible auction that happens behind the scenes. It's this whirlwind of data flying back and forth just to pick the ad you see. But what if we could make that whole process not just faster, but also way more secure and open to new ideas? Well, that's exactly the promise of this new framework. So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the challenges with the current system. Then, we'll introduce the agents that are going to fix it. After that, we'll dive into the tools they use, look at the technical blueprint, and finally, see how it all works in the real world. All right, first up, the ad auction challenge. So what's actually broken? Well, it turns out the way we run ad auctions right now is creating some serious bottlenecks, and it's holding back both innovation and security. Okay, so here's the core problem. Right now, to get an ad auction done, different systems have to pass this huge data package back and forth over and over again. Imagine you're trying to edit a 100-page document with a team, but instead of just tracking changes, every time someone wants to fix a typo, they have to email the entire 100-page file to everyone else. It's just slow, super inefficient, and honestly, a pretty big security nightmare. So what the industry really needs is a way to add cool new features like better fraud detection or privacy tools without having to tear the whole system down and rebuild it from scratch. The future isn't some giant, rigid system. It's got to be a flexible one, made up of smaller, specialized parts that can be swapped in and out. And that's where this whole idea of a system of agents comes into play. This is the big idea, the core concept that's designed to solve all those problems by creating that exact modular system we've been talking about. So what in the world is an agentic system? Well, think of it like a team of highly specialized experts all working together on one project. In the ad world, we already have these kinds of players, like SSPs who sell the ad space and DSPs who buy it. This new framework just takes that idea and supercharges it, creating a secure way for lots of different specialized agents to all chip in and help out during the auction. So, how does this all actually work under the hood? What's the secret sauce? Well, it really comes down to two key pieces of technology, something called containers and another thing called an OpenRTB patch. Let's break down these core tools because they're really the building blocks of this whole thing. We're going to look at containers, patches, and a super important concept that ties it all together called intents. Okay, first up, containers. The best way to think about these is like a real-world shipping container. You pack everything an agent needs to do its job, all its code, all its tools, you name it, inside this one standardized box. And the beauty is you can then drop that box into any system and it'll just work. It's totally self-contained, perfectly isolated and secure. And that brings us to the second key piece, the OpenRTB patch. Remember that crazy 100-page document analogy? Instead of emailing the whole file around, the new way is like using track changes in a doc. An agent sends a tiny, secure little patch that only says, hey, I'd like to make this one specific change. It is an absolute game changer for both speed and privacy. Now, this might just be the most revolutionary part of all. Every single time an agent proposes a change, it doesn't just say what it wants to do, it has to declare its intent, basically the why behind its action. This creates a totally transparent system where the main platform running the auction knows exactly where every single agent is trying to accomplish. No more black boxes. Okay, so we've got the big ideas down. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty, the technical blueprint that makes sure this whole system of agents plays by the rules and works together smoothly. So inside every single container, there's a little file called an agent manifest. You can think of it like the agent's official ID card and its resume all rolled into one. It tells the host platform everything it needs to know, who the agent is, what its declared intents are, and exactly what resources like CPU power and memory it's going to need to do its job. This lets the host manage everything safely and super efficiently. Now, to make a system like this trustworthy, you need some strict rules. For example, there's something called image signing, which is like a digital seal of authenticity, proving an agent is who it says it is. And then you have network policies, which are basically like bouncers at a club, making sure agents don't talk to anyone they're not supposed to. It's all about building an unbreakable chain of trust. The patch protocol itself is also built for trust. Every change is atomic, which is a fancy way of saying it's all or nothing. The change either succeeds completely or it fails safely, leaving no mess behind. It's also independent, so different agents can't accidentally mess up each other's work. And, of course, because of intent, every single action is meaningful and totally auditable. All right, that's enough theory. Let's make this real. How would an agent actually use this framework to make a change in a live running ad auction? Check this out. Let's say we have an agent, and its only job is to add audience data to the auction. Its patch request would look a little something like this. The intent is crystal clear. Activate segments. The operation it wants to do is add. The path tells the system exactly where to add the data. And the value is the data itself. In this case, it's adding tags for people in the 1835 age segment and people who are soccer watchers. It's simple, it's precise, and it's totally transparent. And here's where it gets really, really powerful. A single agent can propose multiple, completely separate changes all at the same time. So you could have one agent that, in one single tiny patch, expires some old ad deals, activates new ones, and adjusts a bid price. All at once. This kind of flexibility just opens up a whole world of new possibilities. You could have agents that specialize in sniffing out fraud, agents that create dynamic, custom ad deals on the fly, anything. It's kind of like having a set of specialized Lego bricks that lets you build just about any advertising strategy you can dream up. So if you're going to remember one thing, remember this. The Agentic RTB framework is all about turning a rigid one-size-fits-all process into a flexible, secure, and efficient ecosystem. It's basically making ad tech ready for whatever comes next. And that kind of leaves us with a pretty fascinating thought. This whole agent-driven modular approach, it's a really powerful idea. So if we can rebuild our entire digital ad infrastructure to be this secure and this flexible, it makes you wonder what other complex parts of the internet could be next.